For years, Hollywood sold us a fantasy. Ryan Reynolds, the perfect husband. Blake Lively, the ideal wife. Together, they formed the impeccable image of a dream relationship, but that illusion has just shattered into 1,000 pieces. What seemed like a fairy tale marriage is now mired in scandals, accusations, emotional betrayals, and media manipulation. It all began with an awkward gesture in front of the cameras, but ended with a legal and emotional war that exposed the darkest side of both. The worst part is that apparently no one is innocent. Everything exploded when a clip resurfaced where Blake Lively publicly admits to grabbing her co-star Henry Golding's genitals during the filming of A Simple Favor. It wasn't an accident, it wasn't off camera. It was something she proudly recounted, laughing during the director's official commentary. While many saw it as a funny anecdote, others interpreted it as what it really was, a total violation of human rights. Professional boundaries, Blake's image as an empowered woman began to crumble, because if a man had said something similar, her career would have ended immediately. So the question arose, how far has Blake Lively gone to keep her image intact? But the Henry Golding incident was just the beginning. During the filming of With, multiple sources confirmed that Blake Lively developed a very deep emotional bond with her co-star Justin Baldwin. Off-script laughter, private dinners, and a direct invitation to her private home, even with her baby in her arms. All of this while both. They were married when the relationship became uncomfortably close. Blake changed his tone and harassed Baldoni for inappropriate behavior, but he didn't stay silent. He responded with a lawsuit for extortion and defamation. The narrative completely changed. We were looking at a case of harassment or covert shame because he didn't reciprocate. While all this was coming to light, Ryan Reynolds collapsed. Sources close to him claim she went into a state of absolute emotional crisis. She spoke of burning down her house, her image, and Blake's career. She wasn't looking to heal her children. She wanted revenge. She pushed for a gag order, blocked the press, and allegedly orchestrated an article in the New York Times to destroy Baldwin's image, all to prevent her public image from being tarnished. Because for Ryan, it wasn't about love. It was about controlling the narrative. And then the most uncomfortable theory of all emerged. What if Blake Lively she was truly the ideal wife, and if their relationship was just a public relations strategy, the forced intentions, the awkward jokes, the total lack of emotional chemistry in public contrast starkly with the way Ryan speaks of Hugh Jackman in a deeply intimate, even romantic way. Everything points to the fact that the perfect marriage was a sham, a media construct carefully designed to sell a lifestyle, not to reflect a real relationship. And while Blake was cleaning up, likes with themed muffins and baby boob cakes, Ryan ran an empire of lies where true love was never in the house. For weeks, the major entertainment media outlets remained completely silent. Neither People nor Vanity Fair nor Variety dared to touch on the topic. The image of a perfect family was still selling too much, but everything changed when an independent journalist leaked the private messages between Blake and Justin Baldwin, messages that revealed not only flirting, but explicit confessions and promises that contradicted the actress's public narrative. The media could no longer remain silent, and what followed was a wave of headlines that went from praise to demolition. Blake and Ryan ceased to be the golden couple to become the epicenter of the most awkward scandal of the year. Both Ryan and Blake have built careers that go beyond film. They are brands, faces of perfumes and drinks, and election campaigns, baby products. But now that machinery is on fire, brands are pulling contracts, investors are freezing deals, and millions are at stake because of a personal battle that they can no longer control. Even Simple Favor 2, the sequel to the film that sparked this story, is in danger of being canceled. The production company doesn't want to see its investment sunk by a scandal that continues to grow. And the most ironic thing is that the damage wasn't caused by a paparazzi. It was caused by themselves. In the midst of all this, there's a detail that many forget. The children, the 3 young daughters who share that they are now seeing the image their parents built for the world destroyed. Blake insists he wants to protect them. Ryan says they are his priority. But meanwhile, both continue to post indirect mockery and passive-aggressive phrases on social media, keeping the war raging before the eyes of the world. Is this the right way to take care of a family? Or are we watching 2 giant egos sacrifice their daughters on the altar of fame? And as if all this weren't enough, Scarlett Johansson's name is A source close to Ryan has begun to sound off. Again, he claims Ryan established communication with his ex, the same woman he was married to before meeting Blake. Coincidence? Revenge? An attempt to close the cycle? The truth is that the rapprochement was real, and although both deny any romantic intentions, the gesture set off all the alarm bells because in this power game, appearances and betrayals, nothing seems to be a coincidence, and Ryan may already be moving pieces to write his own narrative, one where he is not the victim but the reborn. When a powerful couple breaks up, Hollywood doesn't remain neutral. Agents, producers, influencers, and even personal friends begin to choose sides in recent weeks. Several colleagues have made their positions public. Taylor Swift, a close friend of Blake, reportedly unfollowed Ryan on social media without saying a word, while Hugh Jackman, inseparable from Reynolds, published an ambiguous but forceful message. Sometimes loyalty is earned in silence, not on camera. The legal teams have also begun to move. Blake has changed representation, and Ryan has shielded his entourage with extreme confidentiality clauses. Everything indicates that a relationship is approaching. The biggest battle is that of reputations, contracts, and alliances, and in a world like Hollywood, survival doesn't depend on who's right, but on who controls the story. For years, they made us believe that love in Hollywood could be real. They sold us perfect photos, well-rehearsed jokes, and a catalog family. But behind the red carpet cameras and the thousands of likes, there was an uncomfortable truth waiting to explode. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively weren't the perfect couple. They were a campaign. Public relations, a media construct that now crumbles with each revelation. Infidelities disguised as jokes, silenced lawsuits, emotional manipulation, exposure of minors, behind-the-scenes betrayals, all in the name of maintaining an image that no longer holds up. And while they try to control the narrative, protect their brands, and redesign their careers, there's something they've lost forever: credibility. Because in the end, what hurts most isn't the scandal, but discovering that once again, the love they sold us was just a story written for the cameras. Leave me your opinion in the comments. Do you think it was ever real? Or were we simply complicit in a farce that was too well produced? Subscribe and turn on notifications, because in this war of egos and broken truths, the story is just beginning.